This video is all about CSS resets. At the end of this lesson, you will be able to implement a CSS reset and demonstrate understanding of its importance for cross-browser development. So what are resets? What is a CSS reset? The idea here is that all browsers implement some sort of styles by default, and not all browsers are the same. CSS resets allow development teams to have a consistent rendering experience across multiple browsers. Now, they're not right for every single situation. However, they are very commonly used, and you will see them in the real world. Knowing about them and how to use them is critical to most projects. So what they do is they remove all default styles provided by browsers. And it's going to set all box model and font properties to 0 or inherit. So what's a very common example of a CSS reset? Well, taking every single HTML5 element pretty much that's ever been written, giving them 0 margins, 0 padding, 0 border, font size of 100%, font inherit, and of course vertical align baseline. Now, why would you want to do this? Why would you want to overwrite all of the styles? Well, I alluded to the fact that all browsers are created differently. So some other bits of information that may be of concern to you are that some companies will roll their own resets that have very specific items that meet their needs. It's very important to understand that you may fall into a company that uses no reset, or may use a very commonly used one, like the one we're going to talk about, Eric Meyer reset. Or you may be working at a company that rolls with their very own. Lots of companies incorporate their own style guides into a reset so that all new developers joining the company are aligned from the beginning. So that's kind of one of the ideas here, is uniformity across your development team. Now, this idea of normalize is a popular way to not reset everything to 0, but to fix the cross-browser problems. So you can utilize the positive aspects of default browser styles and customization at the same time, customize what your styles are reset at the same exact time. So what is it like to implement resets? Well, it's more than likely someone will have already installed this for you at your company, but learning how to do it for your own projects will be very beneficial. Because this will knock out the default styles of your browser, you want it to be placed at the top of your CSS page. Due to the cascading nature of CSS, you want to start with base styles at the top and customize as you go. So choose your CSS reset first before you start writing your styles. Remember, this is a base starting point for your style sheets. But as always, we're going to dive into some code. So go ahead and find the links that are given to you in the follow along portion of this Objective in Training Kit. Meet me over at CodePen. Open up that Eric Meyer's reset link and we're going to meet over there. Okay, so the best way to understand and see what CSS resets do for you is to have some previously written code and see how it changes the default behavior of that code. So we built a little scaffolded out HTML page here, very straightforward. What we're going to do is we're going to head over to the Eric Meyer's reset, which is one of the more commonly used tools. You can read all about that here. This link is found in your training kit. Same with this link here. Make sure you fork this and make it your own. But we're going to take this right here and we're going to add it to our CSS document. Notice that it's just the public domain license. Doesn't matter who uses and borrows it. And then at the top of our CSS file, we're going to paste that. And notice what happened. We reset everything. So now we get to start with our baseline styles of how we feel like this should go. How we want to use this is up to us from here on out, which is really, really nice. But notice there is no border box. There is no box sizing border box. So something to take advantage of and to think about is you could go and tweak this to use that at your disposal. Now you get to create all your H1 elements, H2, H3, H4s, H5s, your footers, at your own will. You are not subject to the browser that you're dealing with. Okay. All right, so there's a challenge for you now to find in Training Kit that'll help you see the difference between what's called a reset and a normalize. Have fun.